So I have got a brief account of the chapter, the main points of the chapter. Now I'm going to give you a brief summary of the chapter. So here in this part, the scene opens with the interaction with Mukesh, who wishes to be a motor mechanic. And when author asks him, the same author Anis Jung asks him if he knew to drive a car, he says, "No, I don't, but I will learn how to drive it." So there is some hope in his eyes. He wishes to change his profession, his work, his job, which is always welcome. He wants to break this tradition, and this kind of hope, this kind of aspiration is not found in many of the people living in the area and living in Firozabad. So from here we go to from here Mukesh takes author to his house. So before that, we come to learn about Firozabad. It's a bangle making. It's popular for it's famous world over throughout India, throughout the world for the bangle industry, for the glass blowing industry, and from there we move on and we find the condition of the people, that people who are engaged in this work in this bangle making industry are living in very poor conditions and in slums, in slum kind of area, though not exactly slum, but poorly built houses, crumbling walls, and wobbly doors, and no windows, and a lot of family member living in the same house with their cattle, with their animals, as if one gets to see the condition of these houses, one would imagine, one can think of the old days, old days when people used to live with the animals. So that is the condition. No drainage system, roads are stinky, giving out foul smell because of poor drainage system and all. So this is the condition. Now as he takes the author, he stops at a door, opens it with his foot, and the door is still door, and that too is wobbly, not stable, not very firm. So he, as they enter, it's found that it is a half built, you can say, house, a shack. Now there a young lady is seen cooking in the kitchen, which is a temporary settlement, a temporary kind of kitchen. So there she's cooking. She has put a big vessel on the fireplace, on the stove that is of firewood. So she is cooking there spinach, sizzling spinach, boiling spinach, and there is a plater next to her, placed, or a plater is there beside her, and there also on that plater a vegetable is cut into pieces. So this is the condition. A condition when the author reaches there, she welcomes her with a smile. Now she is the Bahu or sister-in-law of the family, and she takes care of the needs of the entire family. And family, as already told you, 5 members are there, and she takes care of everyone. Now, as she is the Bahu, she is the sister-in-law. So as the house is also poorly built, if some now in such a case, if some elderly person comes there, so in that case the Bahu, the sister-in-law, retreats. She goes behind the broken walls and pulls down the veil. And here this elderly man means the father-in-law or father. So they all live in the same house in poor conditions. Now, As I've already mentioned, father was earlier tailor, but now in engaged in bangle making. What he could do in his whole lifetime, though he worked very hard, but he could not renovate the house. He could not reconstruct the house in a nice way, and he could not send his children to school too. His children could not go to school, but he could only teach his children the art of making bangles, the art that was with him. So this is the condition. Now the grandmother says that this is the karam, this is the karam, this is the destiny, this is the destiny, and since